The Center for the Future of Arizona partnered with the Gallup organization for a statewide poll that asked residents about how best to improve Arizona by way of shared public values and priorities. Each month, we will examine one of the 7 shared values that Arizonans consider most impactful on their everyday lives. Tonight, a look at jobs and the economy. The survey shows that job seekers are looking for higher wages and long-lasting careers. The sticking point is that they lack the specialized skills to obtain those jobs. Producer Shauna Fisher and photographer Ron Bruce introduce us to a training program that's providing a framework for finding that dream job.
Building a home is a lot like building a career. It's all about the foundation. Habitat for Humanity Central Arizona's construction training program provides a window of opportunity for those looking for a new career. Kurt Veer is the program's field instructor.
Some of them are actually coming out of prison. Some of them are coming out of dead-end jobs. Some of them are coming out of high school and not really knowing what they want to do.
The comprehensive 12-week program includes classroom study, learning building regulations and how to read blueprints, along with in-the-field work, where trained professionals teach various aspects of construction. Air Force veteran Supreme Brock was searching for his next step.
Without this program, I would still be a little confused as to what route that I want to take.
In addition to training, Brock and the other participants earn national construction certifications and a small stipend. They're also given the chance to interview with companies looking to hire apprentices.
Well, one of the benefits of this program is that they take the construction industry as a whole and they place it right in front of you to where you can dissect it, and that way you can make a clear decision on what path you want to take.
Micro-credentialing programs like Habitats are a great way to get on the inside track to finding the perfect job, says Amber Smith. Smith is the CEO of Pipeline AZ, an organization that connects job seekers and employers. Despite the fact there are 2 open positions for every job seeker, she says finding a job today is a challenge.
Why? Why are these people still not connecting into the jobs, and why don't we have 0% unemployment? It's a complex question. Right now, skills just are not aligning with what employers need. We have a massive disconnect right now and not enough people to be able to address the issue.
Smith adds there are other factors making the job hunt difficult, including online job searching, which can be confusing and daunting. And once you do find the job, it often comes with a salary that doesn't keep up with the rising costs of rent, transportation, or childcare. Adding to the frustration, the fastest growing job sectors in Arizona, like medical, tech, and construction, which also often come with the best pay, demand high-level specialized skills that can't be learned on the job, which leaves a majority of applicants out in the cold. Habitat's Kurt Veer says that's what makes their program so successful.
We like to think that we're giving them is that hand up to enter the workforce at a stronger position than if they had not had our program to begin with.
However, Amber Smith warns job training and higher salaries will only go so far in alleviating the labor problem. She believes lawmakers must work together on issues like bringing more quality jobs to Arizona.
It's not a partisan issue. Creating jobs means reducing poverty, and it also means being able to have industry thrive by filling positions.
For Supreme Brock, all of this means he'll have the tools he needs to succeed at constructing a better future.
My goal once I leave this program is to be a certified electrician and go right into an apprenticeship program. So I look forward to joining the workforce and being an asset to the company that I choose.
Joining us now with more on the Gallup Project is Dr. Sybil Francis, Chair, President, and CEO of the Center for the Future of Arizona. Good to see you again. Thanks for joining us.
Great to see you. Great to be here.
The Gallup Arizona Project, Center for the Future of Arizona, give me definitions.
Well, first, thank you for having me. It's exciting to be here on primary election day. It seems very appropriate because Center for the Future of Arizona is very much focused on what matters to Arizonans and building an agenda based on where Arizonans can come together. So the Gallup project really grew out of our desire to really better understand and deeply understand what Arizonans want and care about, and also identify what we call shared public values, where we have 70% or more agreement among Arizonans about things that matter to them, their highest priorities, across age, political affiliation, geography, gender, race, religion, you name it. We've polled everybody so that to make sure that we have great agreement on these issues.
The issues, education, health and well-being, jobs and economic, which we just saw, a job training program there, environment, sustainable, these were chosen because they had so much in terms of shared values?
Yes, it was absolutely stunning to us. You know, we're a nonpartisan organization, and when we survey Arizonans, we really want to deeply understand what matters to Arizonans. And in some ways, we were as surprised as anyone about the high levels of agreement on some really big, important issues, the ones that you just named, 7 in total, in fact. And so we identified those issues that had 70% or more agreement among Arizonans, and we identified them as shared public values. So the jobs and economy, one segment that you just showed, is one of them. And what Arizonans want are good paying jobs with the education and training needed to advance their careers.
Yeah, and we just saw that training program, which is exactly what people say they want.
Exactly.
This includes data now to guide policy and action. Is that the idea?
Yes, we have data about what Arizonans care about, and this is very important because in a political election year, for example, we hear a lot from candidates for public office. We hear a lot from the media about what matters to Arizonans, but we're trying to bring the voices of Arizonans to the table. And so we have a lot of data on what Arizonans care about. We have data on these 7 shared public values, so where there's 70% or more agreement. We also have data on how are we doing on those issues. So for example, the education shared public value about having a high quality education system in Arizona, we have a lot of data on how is our education system actually doing. And so that helps us provide information to policymakers about where there's opportunities to make change.
Previous, I think 2009, there was a survey as well. Changes over time. Are you seeing kind of the same shared values or a little bit of change?
Yes, it's very interesting. People often want to know what's changed in the last 15 years, and people's fundamental values don't really change. What does change is how people are experiencing life. So has life gotten better or worse? And this is where we find opportunities to make suggestions about where we could make policy changes that would matter to Arizonans based on what they care about.
So with that, what do you want people to take from this survey and this poll? What do you want community leaders to take from this?
Well, the first thing is to counter this narrative of polarization and division that we hear about regularly, that we're really not as divided and polarized as we're being told that we are, and that there's opportunities to come together for positive change. So that's the big message, a message of hope. And then more specifically for each of the issues, we have information about what Arizonans want. So that's important for policymakers. You had the Department of Transportation on just a moment ago. We have data about what do Arizonans want from their public transportation system. So this is important data. And then we also ask about how are we doing in those areas. So are we falling short in some of these areas, and do we have work to do? And so this can also be very helpful data for policymakers.
All right, very good. Sybil Francis again, Center for the Future of Arizona. Thanks so much for sharing. We appreciate it.
Thank you for having me on, Ted.